So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. It's Saturday, and this is like always the greatest day of the week. Sometimes Sundays surprise us by being a little challenging, but most of the time they're just very big and kind of on the level of a Tuesday or so, it seems, maybe a Wednesday. But I found this yesterday at the wine shop, and it was a little deceptive because the bottle made it look as if this was water inside. But no, it's a Portuguese Aguarela. This is a Vinho Verde, and it's from the Minho province. And essentially, these are just baby grapes. They get harvested. They go through the process and immediately into the bottle, and off they go. So it's a very, very young wine, and it's a very interesting process. You even have this process to go along with brandies and stuff. So it's quite fascinating. I've never delved too far into Portuguese wines. Being in Germany, being so close to France, being so close to Austria, being so close to Italy, being relatively speaking, Spain's right down and around the corner. So, that's what really predominantly, stocks the shelves around here. But this is really beautiful, very fruity on the nose. And as you can tell from the pour, a lot of gas. It's got that lightly sparkling feel to it. You can definitely feel the bubbles on the tongue. The Germans would define this as Feinherb. So it's a little sweeter, but it's not saccharine sweet. It's not sugary sweet, something that I would not enjoy at all. This is actually a delightful drink, and it would make a fantastic Weinschorle auf Deutsch. In English, you could mix this with some sparkling water, maybe a few large cubes of ice or something like that, and you have a fantastic, refreshing afternoon go-to thing for a party, get-together, whatever, finger foods, etc. And as this wine goes, I would suggest this needs to go with spicy Thai, right? This is fabulous. For folks like me, they don't have a very, very sweet tooth at all whatsoever. That would make a great dessert wine. So there it is, right? So subscribers, keep climbing. Thank you. Welcome all the new folks. Glad you're here. I mean, so very glad you're here. Love the comments. Thank you so much for liking. Let's hop into our grid. So we've got for Saturday, May 10th, we have a Shaun Phillips grid edited by Will Shorts. Very familiar name, but can't say I've assigned any characteristics to it just yet. Let's see what we got in here. So budget. Well, I think we're gonna have econo. So maybe because budget isn't abbreviated in any way, so I guess we're gonna maybe cheap. I don't really know. Let's see. Like American bacon, but not Canadian bacon. Acts like a scaradiquette. Perfume compound. Okay, let's go for an ester. I always like to just anchor myself with something I know. Unlike the Guardian cryptic, where you just have to just go in. I mean, you just go in, guns a-blazing, right? You can't wait till something you know. Very strange. Well, I guess it could be chic. It could be any number of things. Donor group, probably a political action committee. So then maybe we do have cheap up here. And that helps us kind of get going. So does this help at all yet? Like American bacon, but not Canadian bacon. Well, this may be crisped. Crisped. It's hard for me to articulate that. Acts like a scaradiquette. I got that in a movie when I was a kid. Scaradiquette. I don't even know where that comes from. I don't even know what accent it's supposed to be. In could be amid. So hard to define. Quality could absolutely be charisma. And I have to, especially for a guy that's known at work as a living, breathing, walking thesaurus, I sometimes just rely on, they have a certain je ne sais quoi, right? Just take the easy one out, right? Integrated as an approach. I'm going to go with holistic. And that really is. I mean, that's not the kind of wine I would sip on all evening, but that's nice. That's really refreshing and nice. I'll save the rest for when Shotzi gets here in 4 days. Manufactured wooden sheet. So maybe chipboard. Sent up the wall. That could be drove nuts, but I don't want to go. They might have a job for you, maybe recruiters. I used to deal with a lot of them. Massachusetts, Cape Ann, of course. Is it ever going to be Cape Cod again? Was outstanding. Do you see it in there? I'm thinking ode. Okay. Ribs could be bones, and I almost had spare ribs for dinner. They have them pre-made here in the German Metzgerheis in the butcher shops, packaged, vacuum sealed with spices and whatnot. But all they had was honey barbecue and chili sweet or something like that. And I'm more of a savory guy. Baby blue, perhaps. No, I've got a clue. Maybe a peeper? I have no idea. Person who's entitled may be a homeowner. And it might be a peeper. I was just kind of throwing that out there. First contact could be alien encounter. Yeah, I think we got a peeper. And I guess our Skerdicat is hissing at us. That's good. Sad remark at a carnival ring toss booth. I missed that. That is sad. Encounter. Something I don't seem to hear a lot about anymore. Alien abductions or anything like that. I don't hear a ton of that anymore because everybody's got a high definition recording audio-visual device in their pocket at all times, it seems, right? It's very strange. I'd like to know more about it. Sent up the wall. I guess this could be drove nuts. But I mean, I'm concerned about this R and this V unless it's an RV thing. Some camping excursions. Well, of course, RV is going to be RV something. So let's put our drove nuts in there and get right down to business. Yeah, Clark, there's an RV. Comes out with, okay, and because of, maybe due to, so comes out with could be utters. The weather is beautiful here in northern Bavaria today. It's a little chilly, but it is absolutely beautiful. George Blank voted Coach of the Century by the International Swimming Hall of Fame. I'm familiar with the name, not at all with anything to do with the person. It's crossword ease that comes out when that happens. Nature's alternative and a classic debate, nature or nurture. And I would love to have this discussion with anyone at any time, but I can tell you right now, I don't think it's about 80% nature. I mean, it's just who you are, By and large, I don't know. There's no ratio. There's nothing set to it, Mediterranean plant named for its brightly colored flowers. I do believe this is the sun rose. And I know that that's something that Shotzi loves. So I guess our camping excursions are RV trips. Seems a little awkward coming out of my mouth. Wine found in tasting, of course. It's an Asti, but that is a huge recurring clue-answer combination type of situation in the Guardian Cryptic. Benefit. Sake, maybe? Decide not to toss, perhaps we're going to keep. And one with a login and a password, perhaps as a user. And trips, airs, very nice. We got a beautiful grid today. This is really nice. Go into overdrive. Oh no, someone will pay for this. Maybe a tab. Maybe an IOU, I don't know. Why not? Well, with that exclamation mark there, sure. Tops, maybe bests. I'm loving this puzzle. It's got a nice gate to it and everything. Museums, galleries, etc. Looking about art, something. What I don't know. Go into overdrive. So convenience stores could be marts. And let me turn it on. I think we got a turn here. Let's see. Center of town on signs. Deep defenses. I've always wanted a moat. Let's try moat. Maybe Main Street. That's nice. So I guess museums, galleries could be the art scene. Natives of Scandinavia could be Nordics. Maybe it is turn it on. Let's try it. The worst thing that can happen is I'd have to go back and erase it. That's not a problem. Committed in front of witnesses. I thought this was the men in white coats coming to get me. Demand could be market. Boy, taking me back to Econ 101 here, where Ferrari is race in brief, and I do believe that's the New York Stock Exchange. Love it. Fine-grained rock that can be easily cut in any direction. I have no idea. No idea. I was stuck in traffic, perhaps. I don't know. Mary Poppins tune that begins with tuppence for paper and strings. You can have your own set of wings, and let's go fly a kite. I loved that movie as a child, and when I was a child, we didn't have DVDs or VCRs or any of that mess. We just didn't have it. You had to wait till they put it out again, you know? I mean, it was, it seemed so arcade. Maybe because it was. I don't know. So I was stuck in traffic. Could be a big old fat lie. And is this Freestone? I've never even heard of it. Didn't make it through the late show, say. Oh, I've done that. I said to myself, what's Friday night? I usually go to bed at like 9 o'clock because I have to be up so freaking early. And I mean, yeah, right? You know, and then I think, oh, it's Friday night. Same thing tonight. Oh, it's Saturday night. I can stay up as long as I want to. I'll be like, okay, it's 9:30. I got to go to bed. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Shoved down the throat of, maybe foisted on. But, I mean, you could make a case that you could have been foie gras. But how to spell that, I don't know. So, yeah, I guess we do maybe have a free stone. I don't know what else would that be there. Once and then some, maybe hungers for. So, I'm loving it. This is a fabulous grid. Well done, Shaun Phillips. Some works of Wordsworth, maybe sonnets. Oh, wow, yeah, I've already had an O. Okay, there we go. Let's get back into the swing of things. Team for which Sandy Koufax pitched for all of his 12 MLB seasons, and I do believe he was a Dodger. And let's see, some dragonflies would be darners. My dad's favorite creature had to be the dragonfly. And always had something around him some way. Some pillars of the community, elders. I'm off. So long. One side in an 1899-1902 war, and that would be the Boer War. And interesting, Robert, Lord Grantham, on Downton Abbey, had fought in the Boer Wars, a lieutenant, I do believe, perhaps a captain. And he had a Batman. His name was Mr. Bates. Interesting. Crawley, Robert Crawley, Lord Grantham. Pioneer in musical impressionism, despite rejecting the term, and that would be Debussy. And yes, he absolutely did reject the term. If you ever want to have some fun with that, read about that. Just wiki that one up, right? That's it's pretty crazy. Apt name for a NASCAR driver. Oh, sure, let's go with Otto. Bases could be grounds for real. Did you really? devious scheme about a ploy and unappetizing food. Wow, that's gross. A glop. And rolled oats. I don't know. Unless we fat-fingered something, which is altogether possible. How did we do, Bob? Again, I can't really praise this grid enough. Shaun Phillips, this is a fabulous work. I mean, it was really fun. It was clever as all get out, and it was, themeless, I would say. But, on the whole, this grid, it was a challenge. I mean, there wasn't anything that just felt like, oh, that fits in there perfectly. Everything kind of helped me. If I didn't have half of Haynes already in there, I wouldn't have remembered it. I remembered it only because I've seen it in other grids or something, right? Stuff like that. Really great to see the Koufax clue in there. I love to see the Osti thing come into the New York Times for a change. It's funny, in the Guardian Cryptic, sometimes you'll see something like currency, Italian currency or something, right? Or the currency of Rome. And then you're thinking, oh, well, being a New York Times solver, we know that's a euro, right? So to speak, right? Unless it's the old currency of Rome, and then we got the lira. But it's always really great. This was a really, really solid grid. So very well constructed. Well done. We'll bring in our Ben here, Dad, too. And we'll go ahead and call it off. We will see you tomorrow for the Sunday grid. It's going to be a big one. That's what I know about them. And then they always take my breath away as soon as I sit down to them. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's a big one. That's what it always seems to be. But I'm looking so forward to it. No idea what we're going to get just yet, but I bet it's going to be something spectacular. This has been just a fabulous week for grids all the way through. So, until we see you tomorrow for that ginormous grid, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Servus, Grüß Gott, Ciao, Cin-Cin. Bis später, bis dann, bis morgen. Und ich wünsche Ihnen ein schönes Wochenende. Be well out there and be nice to strangers if at all possible. Cheers.